peace, and love. This is the Bubbly Love Show. The Bubbly Love Show. The Bubbly Love Show. Peace and love. Peace and love. I am feeling so good, so good. I'm feeling so good, so we gotta get it started with some drums. Get it started. Get it started. Get it started. Get it started. Bubbly love, love, love. It's bubbly love, love, love. It's bubbly love, love, love. It's bubbly love, 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 love. Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Climb on in, climb on in. As my brother Yaki Awaken say, yo, I've been waiting to say that. Climb on in, y'all. Climb on in. Peace and love. Peace and love. What's goody, Jose? What's goody? We outside, we outside. Okay. So I'm feeling excited. And honestly, like every time I come on these lives, I be feeling all jittery and stuff. And it's like, let's do some deep breaths. That's what we're gonna start with. We always gotta start with some deep breaths. So let's ensure when we're taking an inhale that our diaphragms are expanding, okay? And then when we're exhaling with our mouth, like a blowing out, right? Our diaphragms are concaving in, right? So hands at center. Let's take a deep inhale. Peace and love. I'm gonna let's do some affirmations. I am powerful. I am divine. I am aligned. I am creativity. I am sensitivity. I am balance. I am grounded. I have everything I need. I am exactly where I need to be. I trust myself. I trust my intuition. I practice integrity. I practice free expression. I am unapologetically me. I give myself grace. I give gratitude for each day and each lesson in each and every moment. I am music. I am sound. I am communication. I am dance. I am art. I am theater. I am free. I am fun. I am silly. I am unique. I am bubbly. I am charismatic. I am intelligent. I am witty. I am me. I am free. Give yourself a hug. I love me. I am everything and everything is me. Everything that I ask for, I must first give to myself. So if I want touch, then I must touch myself. I must hold myself. I must console myself. I must love myself. Hug myself. Be there for myself. Give grace, patience, trust. We got this. Love, family, love. I give gratitude for all those who are in attendance. Love, peace, and love. Ashe. So, the way that I wanted to start out, I'm actually going to take a sip. So, we are at the Bubbly Love Show tonight. And what I would like to talk about today is the Bubbly Love Course. When it comes to the Bubbly Love Course, it is a curriculum and course of different healing techniques, creative arts, performance that essentially has come to me just in my experience of healing and in my experience of being brave enough to follow my dreams and follow my heart. And specifically when it comes to performing, back in 2018 is when I officially started. And the way how my heart opened up and my throat chakra began to open up just with me being able to express myself, because growing up I've always felt like expressing myself through music and through writing resonated most. So to be able to finally put what I was feeling, right, my emotions, down into a song, into a rap, into just a performance expression, it's very healing for self, and as I've learned, for others as well. Growing up, I've always been into helping others, and it's really dope how I've been able to just have a myriad of experiences that have led me to do what I love and be able to help people at the same time. And I'm grateful and I'm blessed, and I would just love to share with you all just a piece of my heart, a piece of my art. There's so much of me in this course because there's so many different things that has inspired it. So to get it started, I would like to read my mission statement for the Bubbly Love course. The Bubbly Love course goal is to inspire self-love, mental wellness, and healing through the arts. The Bubbly Love course explores creative forms such as music, rap, poetry, songwriting, storytelling, dance, improv, theater, art, and fashion. This wide range of artistic forms provide the foundation to build a customized self-love course for your daily life. By the end of our course together, we will be able to identify our emotions and find fun and healthy ways for free expression. We all have superpowers and the ability to use art as therapy. Through intentional practices that connect our spiritual selves with our physical selves, students will learn how the power of mindfulness can help us bring more happiness into our lives. Okay. So, what's so cool about the Bubbly Love course, right, is that it's like, all right, so the Bubbly Love workshop essentially had started at Rafa Art Life Center. Okay, shout out Rafa Art Life Center and Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, we outside. Okay, right, so they have a monthly event called Heal Thyself Sundays, right? And one day, Brother Yomi Love, a colleague and dear friend of mine, okay, one day he asked like what type of ideas we had for that event. And I just had this vision of me being able to create a safe space to have vulnerable conversations about things like self-love, about relationships, about things that we do within our lives that maybe are the like just identifying essentially the different things that we can work on in our lives, right? Like how we can tap into those emotions that may be a little bit more challenging than others, like when we were sad or when we were angry and things of that nature, right? So matter of fact, y'all, I gotta do it. Hold on, my book is right there. Hold on. So y'all, I gotta show you. So the Bubbly workshop, when it was first born, right? This book, oh, you can't see it like that. It's called Live Free by Devon Franklin, right? And honestly, this book just kind of came to me. I'm like really into books when I go different places, and it was gifted to me through spirit, y'all, right? I don't really remember where it was at, but it was meant to be with me, right? And this book is so cool because, oh my gosh, right? So I just opened it and it's like, be here and happy now, right? So it will talk about how you can be happy and be present, right? And then like love affirmations for singles. Like it really just goes into all of these different things. And then it has like activities that you can do with other people, like writing down, like for instance, with relationships, they have this activity where you write down like expectations, and it's all about expectations and the type of things that you expect from a person in a relationship, but we tend to sometimes not communicate, right? So being able to have activities to communicate this with your partner, right? So I essentially created this these different questions based off of that. Sometimes I use some things from that, but it was more of a just open space for us to talk about the different things that we were going through at that moment, right? And then it came to me that like maybe some years back, I had did an event where we wrote down things that we wanted to release and we burned it, right? So I brought back that activity to this Bubbly Love workshop, and essentially it became this whole thing where it was like all about releasing and just using the power of fire to essentially to end cycles and then to rebirth new, right? So magical. And just throughout the different experiences that I've been having as far as being able to teach in Africa, y'all, and use my medicine drum to teach children rap, to teach children English using rap and my medicine drum, like, y'all. So essentially what I asked myself, one of the questions that I asked myself, because I realized like with this self-love course, this Bubbly Love course, like I have been doing these types of activities like for a while, just like finding it fun. So it's why I'm like looking to share it with others, right? So one of the activities that I did with myself, right? I wrote down, I said, okay, Deja, you like all of these different creative art forms, right? And I was like, but which one, like, what could you, like, what do you really, really love? Like, what can't you live without? Like, absolutely cannot live without, right? Doing, right? Because I love to create. So my answer is performing arts, performing, and teaching, okay? I realize when I'm not teaching, I get sad. I get pretty sad. I feel like something's missing. When I'm not performing, I get pretty sad and I feel like something's missing. But when I'm doing both, y'all, I'm like, everything is there, everything is there, everything is aligned, everything is divided. It's just it, right? So I was like, all right, how can I connect the two things that I love and just travel the world doing this? So essentially, I have been also teaching and trying out these different activities with my students. And I'm so happy to present to you finally in person, okay, November 7th. Okay, I'm saying a lot. I'm happy to finally present it to be in person through all of my experiences of working with literally as young as 2 years old up to seniors, y'all, okay? So God, the Most High, has literally set me in this path to be able to hold space for young ones and older ones. So now I have literally combined the course. So I put it in like the language in a way that is going to be comprehensible for a young one, but then not be too like kiddie for like an adult, right? So what the Bubbly Love course entails of is 6 chapters, which is 6 weeks, right? So every week is going to be 1 hour for 1 day each week. The way how I'm starting it off is going to be on Tuesdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. The sign up is in my my bio. So week 1 is going to be meditation, positive affirmations, and journaling. Second week is going to be music, sound, and instruments. Third week is going to be rap, songwriting, and storytelling. Fourth week is going to be yoga and dance. Fifth week, theater and improv. Sixth week, fashion, art, and performance. So the dope thing about the course is that everything bleeds into the other. When I was thinking about saying that, I was like, Halloween. Okay. But I was like, okay. But it bleeds into the other, right? So essentially, once we learn how to still ourselves, right? We learn stillness with meditation. We learn how to affirm ourselves. We learn how to write down our emotions. Then we get into, okay, we know how to write down our emotions. How can we add sound to that emotions? What do sounds feel like, right? How can we tap into different sounds? How do they feel, right? How can we use instruments to create sounds that make us feel good, right? Once we got that sound background, boom, how can I add some words, right? How can I add some words? We got the positive affirmations already, but like, how could we add some rap? How could we add some rhymes? How could we use figurative language to make it creative and make our own funky song about how we love ourselves, and we could just jam to it, sing to it when we possibly feeling down, right? So now we know how to do that, right? We got our song, we got our instruments, we got our, feel me, we tapping into our emotions. Now we gonna put it into our body. We gonna put it into our body, right? How does our body express different emotions? How does our body express different elements, right? How can we release the different things that tend to store within our bodies, right? And just get out that emotion, shake out that emotion, free up yourself, right? We know how to do that. Cool. How can we put that movement in that dance, right? The next is theater and improv. How can we put that movement in that dance into a performing art style? If I want to do a silent movie with you right now and I want you to know how I'm feeling, what do? How am I feeling? You feel me? Like how am I feeling? Using facial expressions, using your body, using different, like just flow. So now we know how to do that. Cool. What is all about performance, right? We got to have the costume. We got to have the costume, right? Cool. So now we use the costume, and how does different outfits, right? Different clothing items depict certain emotions, right? Like when you see somebody down the block and they're wearing something funky, right? And you just start smiling because you're like, yo, that is cool. Like that makes me happy right now, right? How can we create different looks? And then using things like nature, because we got everything that we need all around us, okay? We can use literally flowers and leaves and stems and staffs and sticks and all of these different things, right? To create that. And then art, right? How can we create an art piece to share a certain emotion? What are you feeling? What colors do you use to share how you're feeling through that art, right? And then it's performance. So now you got all of the different tools, right? So now, baby girl, baby boy, it's up to you, okay? It's up to you. You are infinite. You are divine, okay? It's up to you. You have all of these different tools to be able to share and showcase your emotion and transmute your emotion in whatever way, shape, or form that you want to. Not the way that somebody else tells you to, but customizing a way that feels good for you, and it feels releasing, and it feels good, and everybody's just feeling good, and we just building off of that energy. Ashe. And that's what the Bubbly Love course is, y'all. And y'all, the different activities, the different exercises on this course has been different things that I've learned from different shaman in my travels, different teachers, different professors, different mentors, spirit, right? Things that just came to me through the Most High, through me just trusting my path and my purpose, y'all. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So the Bubbly Love course right now it is going to be starting in Brooklyn, New York, Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York, okay? November 7th is the official date, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., okay? Check out the link in my description. Come heal with me. Let's heal together. That's another thing. The reason why I created this course was because I told myself I did not have to reach a certain point to be able to hold these healing spaces. I don't have to heal every single thing about me to be able to hold a healing space. I have to practice integrity, and I have to be honest with how I'm feeling, because when I am vulnerable and I share how I'm feeling with another, then they can resonate and be like, you know what? I'm not alone, and you're not alone. We're together in this. There's no accidents in anything. I guarantee that whatever it is that you're going through, there's somebody else going through the same thing. And isn't that marvelous for us to be able to connect on these different things, because then we can share on ideas on how to heal these things, how to tap into these traumas, how to really take accountability and really take a look at ourselves for real, you know, and with grace, love, patience, but with honesty, with true honesty, and stop suppressing our emotions and stop carrying these weights on us. We don't need it. You know, something that has changed my life entirely is just practicing fasting. Something that can be seemed as so simple, but has one of the most hugest impacts, because I realize when I fast that I tend to, I feel light, right? And then when I feel so light, I realize that I never even knew that I felt that heavy. So it's really, really important that we're making sure that we're tapping in with ourselves and our emotions and our mental wellness every single day. Set yourself up some activities that work for you. Draw some affirmations and write them on your wall. Get a drum or a different instrument. You know, create what it is that for yourself, because you love you, right? The only way that I'm going to be able to help people the way that I want to is for me to be able to help myself. It's for me to be honest with myself. It's for me to heal myself. And I've been doing that, and y'all, it's been magical. Like, this stuff is real. It is magical. When you are consistent in what you know it is that you're supposed to be doing, can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing. They could talk, but they can't tell you nothing, because you know your truth and you know what you're supposed to do. I realize when I'm eating a lot, right? When I'm over consuming different foods, I'm heavy. And that heaviness ends up being blockages when I'm trying to connect to my intuition the most high. And now I'm confused about where I'm going. Now I'm realizing that my abundant flow is just seeming weird, money issues and all of this stuff. It's because I'm over consuming, because I realize overconsumption is synonymous with lack, because you're eating so much because you don't know when you're going to get the next thing. You're eating more than you actually need. There's a quote that says, if everyone just takes what they need, then everyone will have. And let's start to practice these type of things. Let's start to have these real conversations and really tap in. Y'all, I want to tell y'all about this. There's this fruit. Excuse me, I think it's like a bark. It's called Mauby. But it was like at the Trinidadian spot. And apparently it's a medicine. You should check it out. It's like bitter. and sweet at the same time. So I know it's activating my liver. That's a fact, and it's definitely cleanser. I would like the taste though. See, the thing with me, if I want it bitter, I want it bitter. If it's gonna be sweet, let it be sweet. But why put it together? Me confused. I don't want it together. I would rather it just be bitter, bro. Like, give me bitter, bro. Give me bitter, bro. Alright, so. Alright, so. So that was my spiel, right? But the thing is, right? The fun thing is, guess what, y'all? I'm not even done. I'm not done, right? Let me. Okay. I'm not done though, right? I'm not done though, right? Because right now. He's so funny. Love is so funny. Because you can't hide nothing. All right, y'all. So we're going to get the conversation continued. But, you know, we could do things ourselves, right? But it's always better when we got another, right? So we got the Divine Queen here. And I actually got a special guest. We got a special guest coming in here. Can we give it up for Ether? Ether of love. Woo! Wait, let me. Yo!
Blessings!
We got the Ether in the house. Ether in the house. Ether in the house. Ether in the house. Hey, Ether in the house. Ether in the house. Hey, hey, hey. So who else better? Peace, brother. Peace, brother Ether.
Peace, Goddess Bubbles.
Oh, so who better to have in a building but my brother Ether? Okay, we're talking about healing. We're talking about having our journey of following our mission and what we're supposed to do. And for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't know either, my boy Ether, okay? Okay. Be outside, sharing that love, spreading that positivity and so many different things. But like, introduce yourself to the people. Like, who's you? Like, what do you do? Like, how we connect? Like talk to him, man.
All right. Blessings and abundance to the collective. It is I, Brother Ether. So I have a very decent, credential list. Predominantly, I've worked in a lot of the arts. I've done, my younger years, I'm classically trained in operatic styles. So trained with the voice and music theory and stuff like that. And then I've grown into more visual art-based work like photography, creative direction, modeling, working with like e-commerce and things like that. And then from that, I started to grow more businesses around holding safe space, because the spaces that I was in when I was doing those art forms and connecting with other creatives and folks in the industry, I realized that was, I enjoyed them so much and wanted to recreate those. I don't think I knew at the time that I was building safe spaces. I was just building, environments where people can enjoy themselves, but those are safe spaces, especially now. So that's kind of where I'm at now. And now I just taken that to another stage of them being more sacred and intentional and, really providing tools of wellness and practice that we can take to better our lives and to expand ourselves. So that's what I do now.
Absolutely. Yes, Ether. And I understand that you just had 2 really dope, consistent events. Can you tell us about what that was about?
Yo, she's on it. So, yes, so I do ceremonies. Basically they're around giving thanks and appreciation to the elements, to our ancestors, and also to a lot of the practices from all our different regions culturally that, are very world-renowned, world-known, and that's for benefits and for betterment and for wellness and health. So the events, the ceremonies are called Coexist, and I build an immersive temple. I build drum circles, opportunities for ecstatic dance, and then also different practitioners come in and do workshops, and vendors and local businesses, and it's always in promotion for the Bronx, especially. You know what I'm saying? And promoting, holistically undervalued neighborhoods, Harlem, the Heights, much of the uptown is more what it's prioritized. So that's what I be doing. So, you know what I'm saying? We might have another one by the end of this year, but if not, 2024, you will be seeing us back. We just had our last event at Sankofa House. It's a beautiful venue space in the South Bronx in Mott Haven. So definitely check them out. They have weddings and exhibitions and with galleries and you name it, and they can create it. That space is a magical spot, a beautiful hub for the Bronx. So but yeah, and then prior to I did a ceremony at Bronxlandia, another fire Bronx based space. It used to be a train station, and then they converted it into an event space. It's beautiful, it's large, it can accommodate like 300 people. And the lady who owns it, Majora, she actually is a Bronx native, and she also owns a cafe 3 blocks away. So it's very Bronx community.
Boogie down, grind.
You know what I'm saying? Bread, lead, you know what I'm saying? And bled, you know what I'm saying? Blood, sweat, and tears. She put a lot of love into that, so definitely check her out if you're a Bronx-based, native, like living, support your tribe, support your neighborhood, support the boroughs, because that dividing is just not where we at now.
Yeah,
and we be out to Brooklyn, so come out to the BX.
That's a fact. We be coming to Brooklyn, y'all. Brooklyn, can y'all come to us too, please? Can y'all come?
It's safe now.
Y'all can come. I promise the Bronx is not what it seems. Yes. I promise. It's propaganda. You know what's interesting? Fun fact. The Bronx is actually the only borough that's like the mainland. So it's like not surrounded by a bunch of water. And something in my spirit tells me there's a reason why the Bronx doesn't get certain type of recognition and certain things that we just don't get. Like even when it comes to like our city bikes, like I have no idea where the park stops are, and nowhere else, y'all, have I seen like like the city bike things. We got our own versions out here, and those bikes be in the lake. They be on people's like rooftops. I be confused. But essentially I don't really know where the parking stops are. But I feel like when I go to Manhattan or Brooklyn and these different places, everything is like, it's nice, and you could kind of know where to get certain things. And something in my spirit just tells me like it's a certain energy here in the Bronx, right? So I feel like I've talked to some people about like different energies in the Bronx or whatever, right? And I feel like, okay, there's a spectrum of everything. So if there's a bad, there's a good, right? So I feel like as bad as it can, quote, be or whatever, like the energy that you can get in the Bronx, is because it can be that good. Does that make sense?
Like the duality, like the balance, like yin and yang, like just as much. And frankly, that is a symbolism of the way the world is, right? Like I very much challenge that with people with that whole aspects of pessimism, because I'm just like the true law is 50-50. That's why yin and yang exists. So just as much as there's a 50% of negative, there is just as much as the positive. It's just all about your subjective view and where you're placing the energy and your intentions.
Absolutely. You know what? I actually feel like, thank you for saying it in the way that you did, because I have some questions here, some different discussions that I would love to just bring up. And I feel like the last thing you said, I can connect. So you just mentioned how the duality between finding good and bad and things, or just perspective essentially, right? So I want to talk about like trauma, because we both hold these different spaces, or these safe spaces for people to come and for them to heal. And essentially, what are we healing? Trauma, right? Whether it's in our body, whether it's through relationships, whether it's through whatever it is, that's the foundation, the base of it, right? So just being able to hold these spaces, what do you feel like are some ups and downs, or some different things that you've experienced
with trauma,
or just holding space for trauma?
Holding space for trauma?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I said a lot of stuff.
No, I'm here.
My bad, yo.
No, I got you. I just have to, I want to make sure you clarify, right? Like, you don't want to just think you knew. You'd be like, repeat that order.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, there's so many different realms, right? Because I feel like trauma is a system that coincides with the system that we've been built on that, they profitize off of trauma, right? Like you not being content in your self-image, you not being content in your environment, content with knowing that you are abundant. Like, yes, we can fill that void with instant gratifying this or that, like, cover it up, or, what I'm saying, just escape for a second with this. And, so it's kind of like, now that we're building safe space, just being able to interact with others and be able to hear stories and hear different journeys, and also hearing how people are, healing in their own way, also is a mirroring of yourself and just shows so many different ways and how you can expand. Like healing with even sex, and that's a whole thing. And just, like our stories are a lot more common than we, believe them. And it's just because we suppress them that, that we're internalizing that it's, mine is the most rare circumstance on the planet. But really, when you're able to be vulnerable and actually have a space to openly share, you'll realize like we all have, a similar, thing going on, and it's like this world has been built to make us all go through it in some way, shape, or form. And it hinders your connection to self, to expressing yourself authentically, and standing in your integrity, your truth. So, just holding space for us to share our stories, I think inevitably that is such a catalyst of healing. Yeah, and I actually also do retreats too. So the retreat that I went on last, I was just sharing this too, and I would love to bring this up. I feel like it's very needed. So we had, it was in the administrative team. It was basically a very small circle. And, at one point in the evening, we shared the intimacy of nudity. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like the master bedroom has a jacuzzi, everybody's dipping in, and, we're just talking, conversing, and it was just very sacred, safe space. But what was so transformative was like the nudity expressed. Not only was it received so, purely and so safely and openly, it also allowed me, because so I had a past, right, where my first love, we had a sexual relationship, and, at one point she made a, allegation that I took advantage of her. And, it was a whole thing going on of, just being children and like learning through lack of communication and boundaries and just transparency, vulnerability, all these things that are part of emotional intelligence as adults. We're learning through we learned through experience, So that was one of those times. And I had been very hesitant about being that vulnerable with women because of that experience. Whether I didn't realize it because it was more a subconscious thing. But now sharing nudity was allowing me to show such a vulnerable openness with any and everyone. And it was just allowing me to realize that was something that I actually had, I wasn't even aware of, that I got to work on and start to do that digging and healing just through that healing through that experience. So that was dope too.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, because through this whole summertime I've been working on something as far as that incorporates that sacredness of the body. So thank you for definitely sharing. To piggyback off of that, I had my own experience my last Earth Day in March, when I was led through so there's a plant medicine called sassafras, and I had a journey on sassafras, and essentially in my meditation, the messages that were coming to me was about like nudity and about shamefulness, y'all, about being ashamed of my body and my expression. And then I had this memory of when I was a little girl and I got in trouble for dancing, and I didn't see myself in the vision like how I was dancing, but I have the memory, and essentially it must have been like, I guess, sensual. And I was just being a child though. This is not like, I literally didn't even grow up watching like music videos because I wasn't allowed. So I must have just been doing naturally what my body would have done, and I got in trouble for that. And then how that unbeknowing to myself ended up affecting how I think about my body and nudity, and thinking that nudity only has to be sexual, right? So like what you just shared, it's like, no, it can just be like, no, this is me. Like, you know, like you can just share that space with another person, and it doesn't have to be like intimate or romantic rather. And I feel like it's also like a symbolism of being just naked and unapologetically yourself, right? Because we're talking about suppressing things and holding things in, and maybe not feeling like, we're talking about trauma, so we're talking about the feeling of not feeling like you can be authentically you, right? So what better way than to be naked, right? Like physically, and then also spiritually, like just naked and free, and be like, yo, this is me. A thought that came to me before that I feel like helps is thinking about, or like writing down, like, what are the things that I feel like I'm embarrassed about, right? Like what am I embarrassed about, right? And I realized with writing those different things down, I was like, I'm gonna tell people about all of these things that I'm embarrassed about, so that it's like nobody could say nothing to me. Because quote, I'm like, oh, okay. I remember I did it in Africa actually, and I remember writing down like, oh, how I lost my virginity, oh, how I lost my virginity, and it was like connected to liquor. Then how years later I ended up being hospitalized when it comes to liquor, right? How I ended up cheating on a partner that I had, right? Like literally, and I was like, I'm gonna just talk about it. I'm gonna tell everybody about it. And ain't nothing on me. You ain't got nothing on me. Wait, how it go? You ain't got nothing on me.
I ain't worried about that.
Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, you felt that, because I was like, say it like that, right? So just thinking about, I'm sharing this experience with you because it's real. And I realized, I was like, and even when I think about it, I'm like, what am I really embarrassed about? Like, I'm a human being at the end of the day. I give myself like permission to fuck up. Like, I give myself permission to not be perfect, because I realized that there would be so many times in my life where I was going so hard to like try to like, all right, I'm gonna be plant-based. I'm gonna make sure that I get this from the farmer's market, and I'm not gonna eat this, and like, and it's like, yo, that shit becomes more stressful than the actual what you're eating. And then now it's like the stress behind what you're eating. So I found like finding a balance with everything that you're doing, being intentional with what you're doing, is what brings the healing, and what brings that recognition of self back to self and love. So yeah. So, you know, Etha, I really thank you for coming on here, but you know that we could not end a Bubbly Love show without some music. Ooh. By the way, y'all, Etha came to the Bubbly Playroom. Okay, so we're in the Bubbly Love Playroom right now, right? And it's funny, I made sure I had put like my instruments around, so I didn't know what you were feeling. Mm. But so you got options. So you know, you got the drum, you got these guys over here. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a choice to grab that. We're gonna do a freestyle, and then to end it, I'm actually gonna spit this verse that I wrote. Alright, cool. Let me just, oh wait, no, it's not YouTube, my bad. Alright, cool.
Sounds like rain.
Okay. Alright. So we gonna let me get my burps out. Excuse me. Okay. So you know, I would like us to just like start off on some like sound healing, like vibesy, and then I would like us to start getting into like some like feel me? Like, mm-hmm. and then we just gonna vibe from there. Mm-hmm. Alright, cool. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's get it started.
Spreading love on the daily. Yes, no, the maybe. The mood wavy.
Like a butterfly. Transformation. You already know I'm just in my destination. Inspiration. Love and patience. Yo, we the greatest. I'm so glad that you made it.
Yay! That was so much fun.
Yo, my body is vibrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we channeled. We summoned. Wow. We pray that everybody was present for those vibrations, for that lovely communion of sound and light.
Yeah, y'all.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I really do want to say one thing.
Okay.
So you were talking about, just the journey of like eating, and like I just think that that's a big trauma that's been coming up to surface a lot around me. And the thing is, for me, right, I do eat meat, right? I'm naturally very plant-based, and I love eating with vegetables and fruits, and I love incorporating that in my diet and lifestyle. But at the same time, I do honor that like meat has been in my past and it's been in my lineage, and I do enjoy it. It has a connection to my inner child, and it hasn't actually done something to where it's been such a negative aspect of my life that I had to cut it out. Even though that's been the case for many others, a lot of times people even make that transition due to health factors or a major health crisis that forced them, or rather provided an opportunity to take a transition. As for me, I've always looked at the plant-based and the health-based world with curiosity and interest to grow and expand myself. And after navigating the space, picking and choosing what I like and making that a piece of me in my new stage of journey. But sometimes in those industries, like a lot of times there's like a culture where when you're in it, they're having an expectation or an agenda for you to transition entirely to another place and not giving you the autonomy to step in as much as little as you choose or like. And if you're not taking the steps that reflect it, then you're, what's the word? You are judged.
Yeah.
And it's like
right.
We're just trying to like move into a new stage of journey, like not judging ourselves, like loving ourselves in every state and stage. So for those who may be dealing with that, or may even just have been in the plant-based world, and you may have had a calling that you wanted to step into a different direction, and that doesn't necessarily invalidate all the work you've done prior. So just wanted to share that too, because it's been very present in this week and a half, 2 weeks frame.
Yeah, to add to what you're saying, thank you for sharing. And to add to what you're saying, I was just having a conversation of in some of these communities, when we're talking about plant-based and just being vegan, essentially, there's with some of the teachers or videos or whatever, it starts to get very egotistical, and then it starts to now condescend others if they're not plant-based. And I'm like, wait a minute, when I became plant-based like back in 2019 and had that literally was like through spirit. It was me being curious and was like, oh nah, like this, da da da. Like, it came through just like a fun experience. And I feel like that everyone should do what's always best for them, but also just being mindful, like what we were talking about earlier, like with how much we're eating, like no matter what you're eating, how much are you eating? When are you eating? Are you eating when you're sad? Like realize how you feel when you find yourself going for certain items and things of that nature. But just really I actually am gonna have a whole Bubbly Love show on health and fasting and food in this conversation. But just to keep it more brief, I think that it is important that we do what's best for ourselves, and that we have our own experience. And going back to the Bubbly Love course, that's what it's about, is literally providing. So it's like we're different teachers, right? We're different, space holders, and so are you, right? So it's like we can connect the different things that we have to make, what works for us. And there's no like right or wrong way to do it, essentially, as long as you're being true to you. And that's what I was talking about earlier. tapping in with yourself, writing down your feelings, your emotions, so that you know how to tap into you. You know how you're feeling. You know where your mental space is at that moment. If you're feeling down, and be honest with yourself. It's okay. We all go through these different motions. It's energy in motion, and we are energy, right? So it's all good. Just have love, have grace with yourself, express yourself, and definitely, lastly to say, as far as food, just be mindful of what you consume in general, right? Not just food, but in general. Who are you around, right? What energy are you consuming? What are the different frequency sounds that you're listening and tuning into, right? So we can be mindful in those different ways, and again, just have patience, tap into you, listen to your guidance, and I know you can do it. So I give thanks. I did originally was going to perform a rap, but I'm gonna be honest, like what me and Ether just did was so magical. Like my spirit, I feel vibrations. By the way, thank you, Zen. He said it was fire, y'all.
Oh, I love you, brother.
Facts. Let me actually see if anybody else.
Let's go.
Aura's dancing. We love y'all. Yeah, So I'm actually really happy with what we just did together as a communion. So I'll perform that another time. But I love you so much. Thank you so much for tuning into the Bubbly Love Show. Again, to sign up for the course is in my bio. All you have to do is put your first name and last name. You don't have to make any payments or anything in the beginning. So just sign up and just inquire, come through, check out a class, and in person for yourself. So it's okay. You say you missed it. It's all good. But guess what? You can watch it right back, Take your time. That's the cool thing about these videos. If you're not available at the exact time, you can go back and watch it at your, as your time is available, as you're available. So again, I thank you so much for coming. I am Bubbles, and this is Ether. Thank you, y'all. Peace and love. Love yourself.